Silver was stolen. Silver was robbed. And someone got shot.
One stacker on a journey to find silver. International Stacker.
Alright guys, so I'm going to tell you something that seriously happened. Let me turn on the fire. Alright. So, this is a true story, ladies and gentlemen. It happened to somebody I know, and I got permission to tell you about it, but I can't tell you who it was. But this is why security is so important when you're stacking something like gold and silver. And unfortunately, I'm still on the East Coast and have not touched actual silver or gold for almost 70 days. This is cloud. So, let me tell you what happened. So this person I know kind of does flipping like I do. So they're kind of a flipper to help grow their stack for, cheap, for free almost sometimes. So they were selling some gold coins on Facebook. So someone messaged him and said, hey, yeah, we want to do it. We want to send you a check. Where do we send the check to? So he'd give him the address to send this check to. Hashtag. This is why it's so important. If you're doing private buys, ladies and gentlemen, you've got to have a P.O. box. Security tip number 1, do not ever use your personal home address. So he said, oh, we need your address and we're going to mail you the check, blah, blah, blah. So we waited. They never mailed the check. About a month goes by, maybe 3 weeks. It's 2 or 3 a.m. and he's at home with his girlfriend. They're asleep. And his girlfriend wakes him up. Hey, I heard something. So my friend gets up, looks around, doesn't hear anything. He's like, oh, you're whatever. It's nothing. So he goes back to sleep. Meanwhile, there's 3 individuals in black with masks breaking into the house. He doesn't even know. So he goes back to sleep, and then he wakes up hearing noises, and he looks, his girlfriend's gone. He's like, what the heck? So what had happened is he'd gone back to sleep. He actually got up and looked and didn't see anything. He fell back to sleep. She evidently got up to check. Wakes up, his girlfriend's gone, and he's hearing noise downstairs. So he believes in the Second Amendment to air. So he goes to his gun safe and opens it and gets his AR-15. And he's 2 stories. The house is 2 stories. So he's coming out of the bedroom and coming down the staircase. And the staircase comes down to here. Oh, here we go. Perfect. So his front door was here. His safe is here with all of his precious metals. And this is the staircase up. So he comes down here with his AR-15 up, ready. And he sees 3 guys here and his girlfriend on the ground, laying there. So he yells at him or something. They look up at him, and one of them had a gun with him. So he just starts unloading on him. He said they got out the door so quick he thought he didn't hit them because most of his shots went out once they were going through the door and the door was closing behind him. So he was shooting through the door. Then he ran down and saw his girlfriend laying there and she had blood coming from her head. So he runs by her, runs outside, and just starts firing at the guys as they're running away. Pop, 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 pop. They're running down the street trying to get away. So then he comes back up to his girlfriend and she's up at that time on a phone calling 911. So what had happened is the girlfriend heard a noise. She went down to check on it. 3 guys down there. They pistol whipped her. So she fell on the ground and kind of just laid there because she didn't know what to do. And she didn't want them to shoot her or something. So these guys, when they ran, they had 2 or 3 100-ounce silver bars. So they had pried open his safe here. So he had a big safe here, which was actually in view of the front door, which is another mistake, but a big safe that was pried open, and they ran with 300-ounce bars. So the police come, they find the guys. My friend had actually shot one of them, and then it got sketchy for a little bit. He was worried he might be charged because he shot at them when they were running away out of the house. One got shot in the back, and then running away down the street. So they're like, well, they're running away. You can get in big trouble for that. Thank God he didn't end up getting charged, because those guys deserve to get shot for what they did. And I don't care if they're running away at that point. Anyways, so they go to jail. Long story short, they were convicted, all this. My friend got his silver back. It was actually in the police station for a while for evidence and all that. I think it was 200 or 300 ounce bars, but he eventually got them back. And the only time he had hit one of them was through the door. So when he shot through the door, it hit the guy. So there's a few security situations that you can learn from this story so this never happens to you. For those of you who don't know, the reason I travel so much is I work in emergency management and homeland security. So I take security very serious. So here are some things I do, and then just some common sense things from this. Now, quickly, let's just talk about this situation. His two mistakes. One, exposing his address online, especially when he's selling gold coins. Somebody's going to think if you're selling one gold coin, you probably got a bunch. They get your address, you're done. They put it out there. Never give out your personal address. Always use a P.O. box when you're dealing with private sales and buys, okay? Mistake two he made is this safe was in view of the front door. So if you had the door open, people could have seen it. Now, we know this incident wasn't from that, but that's another mistake he had. Mistake three, he didn't have any kind of alarm or system on his house. Now he has cameras up, alarms, and he actually moved to locations. He's like, I can't live there anymore. Because what if other people were involved and they come back trying to get the coins? So here's the security things I'm going to teach you all. Your number one thing is called OPSEC, or operational security. Now, why do I only show my hands? Why do I not show my face? And why do I, for the most part, not say like what locations I'm in at a given time? Operational security. I don't want somebody finding out my name, my address, doxing my information out there because I show off hordes of gold and silver. Now, is my gold and silver at an address where it would be tracked back to my name per se? No, it wouldn't be. But if they're going to go and try to find my family, thinking they have stuff, that situation can turn really bad. So when I stack on YouTube, showing off my stack, I never show my face. I try never to show anything that would be giving a description of where I live. And then three, for the most part, I post videos a little bit behind unless I'm doing a live stream, so I can avoid being set up or robbed that way. So two, with operational security, I don't tell all my family and friends I stack. Only my immediate family knows because they some of them are stackers too. And then only my closest friends know. Most people in my life do not know I stack. If they find out, I go, oh yeah, I just collect coins. Big deal. And they go, okay. Your next issue to protect yourself is called the layers of defense. There's 3 layers. 1, 2, 3. You have a layer that's your perimeter. So this is going to be for your house, okay? So your layer, which is your perimeter. So the perimeter of your house, that's any gates, fences, a perimeter security. So you got to make sure that's secure. Some people don't have that layer, so we can skip that layer for some people. But if you have a fence, make sure it's patched. Make sure you have controlled entry, exit points, all these different things. Your second layer is the layer between layer 1 and layer 3. So it's between the perimeter and your primary installation, which is your house. So in layer 2, what do we want there? Motion lights, cameras. Motion lights are the biggest thing, guys. A lot of these break-ins happen at night. So if you have motion lights everywhere that are going to go off, people are less likely to attack you or to want to exploit you because there's a higher risk of them getting caught. Having cameras up and having sometimes some obvious cameras up helps. And then layer 3 is your house. Even if you don't stack gold and silver, you need to reinforce your front door, folks, and your other doors. You can do that simply by putting 3-inch screws in your door frame. There's YouTube videos how to do it, but that will greatly increase your door, which buys you time to call 911 or to exercise your Second Amendment to protect yourself. Also, in the third layer, inside the house, things like dogs and a lot of that stuff can help too. But also, hopefully, if you're stacking, you have a way to protect your stack. Because when you call 911, most of the time, you're talking at least 5 minutes for a police response. Some places a lot longer, so you can't depend on that. So that's kind of going into our home security. In this day and age, with how cheap technology is, if you're stacking gold and silver, you need to invest a little bit. There are standalone alarms now that just they'll go off, make a lot of noise, and then just tell your app, so you don't pay a monthly fee. It just tells you only. You bring up the video, and then you can call 911 or not, and you can respond to it. But a lot of times if that house alarm goes off, people are going to run. 2, consider cameras. Again, camera technology is very cheap now. It can come straight to your phone, so you can protect yourself. The next thing I want to talk about is hiding your silver versus putting it in a safe. I will never put silver or gold in a safe unless the safe is hidden. Having a viewable safe in your house is a recipe for disaster. Someone might see it from outside. A friend of a friend might see it. One of your friends might be like, oh, my friend is so smart. He has this big old safe. I need to get one. Like, just mention it nonchalantly, then that makes you a target. Because people go, they have a safe. They're going to have guns in there, money, gold, whatever. People know. So if you have a safe that's viewable, you're asking for a problem. I would rather hide my gold and silver than put it in a visible safe. Now, if you have a safe that's hidden in the floor or in a wall, or you have a blanket draped over it like it's a table, that's a good option too, but you want to hide it. Here's my concern with safes, folks. Safes, if people find out about a safe, they're going to come and try to get in. And if you have a safe, they're definitely going to bring friends because they know it's heavy and they're going to need help taking that treasure out of there. Also, if people are robbing you and they see a safe, they might come back, say, oh, there's more stuff we can get at a later date. And if you're not there and there's a safe and you have loved ones there, they might just start chopping off fingers or beating these people trying to get into the safe. And if they don't have the code, that could be very dangerous for your loved ones. So consider that when talking about safes. You know, some people even talk about hiding silver and gold in plain sight. And one of the coolest things I ever heard was someone said, with their 100-ounce bars, they spray paint in black and use them as door stops. Imagine that. No one would ever know. And then again, Second Amendment. So there's a few ways to protect yourself in your home. Preferably a gun, firearm of some sort. If you're anti-Second Amendment, or if you live in a place you can't, things like dogs are great. A bat. Make sure just to have something so you can protect yourself if you're stacking your family, whether you stack gold or silver or not. Because you'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. And you don't want to be one of those people that sits in a closet waiting for 20 minutes for police to arrive and something horrible happens to your family, especially if it's because of your stack. Now, I want to do a big shout out to you guys for putting up with a lot of my ads and promotions I've done lately. When I do these promotions and different things, it greatly helps my channel so I can do better and bigger things. I can do mega gauze and giveaways for you and bring more content to you. So a big shout out to Lear Capital. This is my last video that's officially sponsored by Lear Capital. And a big thank you to Lear Capital. And while we're talking about that, we all knew the market had to correct at some point, right? But no one could have imagined what we are seeing today. The beer flu, because I don't dare say the real name, YouTube's going to put me in prison, is a human tragedy. It is also an economic tragedy. And you guys, the reason we stack economic issues, how many channels you go to and they're talking about economic collapse or problems coming? Well, we may be here. Hopefully we're not. Hopefully we have a little bit more time, but that may be knocking on the door. And the global economy is collapsing all around us. How will markets respond from this point forward? Many economists predict a third quarter recovery, but there is still many unknowns that is simply impossible to say. One thing is for sure, you just can't flip a switch and return things to normal. Headlines are suggesting the next upside in gold. Headlines are suggesting the next upside is in gold, says Money Week. Want to make more money in 2020? Gold and silver are looking like a good bet. So that's a quote from Money Week right there, guys. So, I mean, that agrees with what we're doing so far. Okay, let's keep going here. That's why many Americans are making the decision to diversify into gold. And since 1997, Lear Capital has been America's top destination for gold, IRA, and precious metal sales. Mention this channel and receive a free silver coin with your first purchase, but it's going to be actually silver. Unfortunately, this one's not silver. Call 800-819-2495 now. They will show you how to easily buy, sell, and trade your metals. Call 800-819-2495. That's 800-819-2495. Or submit a request to the link in the description. I put the link in the description. So thank you all for putting up with these ads. I know some of you hate them, but they enable me to do a lot of cool things. And it's really cool to see companies like Lear Capital supporting the stacking community. And whether you like Lear Capital or any of those types of companies or not, they are still getting the word out there to people about the importance of gold and silver. And it's an important message. And it's an important message especially for people who have their money, their retirements tied up in the stock market, tied up in these IRAs that are tied to these stocks, because overnight they can see their entire life savings wiped, which is truly a heartbreaking story. So if you're in that situation to where a lot of your retirement is tied up in stocks because of IRAs and different retirement funds, definitely check out Lear Capital or a company like it to see how to switch that over into actual physical metals, gold and silver. So I think we all agree on that. So thank you, Lear Capital, for doing that. And thank you all for watching this video. Let me know in the comments below. Do you agree with my statements? Would you ever have a safe in your house? If so, would you have it if only it was hidden? What do you think about the story I told you? Is it insane? And thank you so much for all of you joining me on my venture and my journey around the world to find gold and silver, because without you, it would not be fun. So what do we say? Catch you on the next one. CYOTNO. Now that is mega.